Hello and welcome to BORG episode 3. So, a bit of a recap of the last session. We found out that the monster that we're hunting is basically a spider form of Rebar, a character from our previous season. He is the one giving birth to all these creatures. We know that it likes silver, and we know a bit of information about his HP and armor. But more importantly, we know where it is, the Valley of the Unfortunate Undead. Before we get into it too much, I wanted to go over a few things. So, I went down from 6 milestones, if you remember from the previous episode, down to 5, because I think that's a more appropriate amount. Also, I made it so that there's 5 days and 5 nights, like the misery state. There's 5 days and 5 nights. So we're gonna use a day and a night at a time. And I think I'm gonna make the nights more perilous if I can. Also, I have this. So this is something that I got this idea from Chris McDowell, who made Into the Odd. He has a YouTube channel. It's fantastic. You guys should check it out. I'll put a link in the description. But basically, he has this method for prep work where he enjoys using random encounters of 6. The way he generates those out is basically by using a list of 4 words, like 1-word descriptors here: curse, flesh, spider, silver. So all that is stuff that has to do with our campaign right now. Curse plus flesh, curse plus spider, curse plus silver, flesh plus spider, flesh plus silver, and spider plus silver. So those combinations come from here, right? What I'm going to be doing is that every time we have an encounter of some sort, I will roll, I'm not sure, D10, D12, D20, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to roll a D10, and if it is 7 to 10, then there's no relation that we can obviously see at the moment to our quest. But if it's a 1 to 6, there's going to be some relation to our current campaign. I think that's going to be quite interesting. So just to show how this is going to work, I'm going to roll a D10 here. So I'm going to get a 7. So a 7 will mean that there is no obvious relation to the theme of our campaign. So I'm going to roll again. I'm going to get a 1. So 1 is curse plus flesh. So what does that actually mean? It depends on what we actually find. So if we find an NPC and we get curse plus flesh, that might mean that they are obviously cursed and they are actually turning already, like turning early into a demon or monster. As you recall, the prophecy is that after 5 days and 5 nights, they shall turn fully into demons. And it's the people of Galgenbeck who are inflicted with this curse. But I was thinking maybe some of them can maybe start turning early, and that might be a precursor kind of thing, a warning. And I thought that might be interesting. So yeah, it depends on what we find. For example, if we find 2 monsters fighting it out and we get, let's see, 5, that'll be like flesh plus silver. Then maybe they are, 2 creatures birthed by the spider who are competing for silver. So silver is something that the spider version of Rebar really wants for some reason. So, there's a lot of things that could happen based on this. But I thought it might be a good way to tie a lot of the events that happened today back into our campaign. Plus, it also makes it so that campaign prep is a lot quicker. I just have to do 4 words essentially, and I have my session prepped, which is great. I think that's a lot better than me going through and trying to figure out, how am I going to make stuff related this session, and so on and so forth. It takes a lot of like the heavy duty thinking out of the way, and it's just 4 words. It's easy to come up with. So I like that. And I think that's all we have changed, or rather prepped. So here's the problem, right, for our characters. We know that the lair is in the Valley of the Unfortunate Undead. Now, I'm going to open up the box. If you look at Ferretary, and you look at the map on Ferretary, you look at how many days it takes to actually get from Galgenbeck to the Valley of the Unfortunate Undead. Well, firstly, you're going to have to cross a river of some kind. Then it's going to be D6 plus 5 days. we only have 5 days and 5 nights to stop the curse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that we have to find some kind of mount, some kind of horse, or some kind of creature that can allow us to travel there much faster. Or we're going to have to find some kind of shortcut, something. We need something to be able to get us to there quicker. So I think we're going to have to find the stables here. I actually do not know if there are stables in Alone in the Crowd. Let's see here, Alone in the Crowd. There is stables. So we can buy a horse, which is going to be 80 silver, which we do not have because we spent all of it trying to bribe people. We have 40 and 30. We have 70 silver. I don't think we're going to be able to buy a horse. We can buy a donkey, I guess. We can buy a donkey. We're going to have to find the stables first. So I think in this case, we're going to actually set the DR of the city down a little bit, down to 8. Just cause we have explored it a bit, we know the city a little bit better. I think we're also going to ask for directions. So we're gonna do DR12 presence versus 2D20. I think yeah, Galt's gonna do it. So let's see, is he able to? It's gonna be a weak hit. You ask a nearby NPC, make a 2d6 reaction roll. Okay, that's going to be a 4 and a 4. That makes 8. Indifferent. So they don't really care. They kind of tell us where the stables are. We get plus D2 to the next city crawl. So 1 to 3 is 1, 4 to 6 is 2. We're gonna get 2. Okay, next city crawl is going to be plus 2. So that's going to be quite good. Yeah, I think we're gonna go up through here. So let's see here. Oh, okay. So that's gonna be 12 because plus 2, and then 18. So that's going to actually be a direct hit. I think the stables just fortuitously are quite nearby, and we are able to find this place of business quite quick. So stables, there we go. So we're able to find the stables. We talk to the person who owns the stables, and we are able to find some kind of mount. We don't have enough money to pay for it though. I don't know if we can get a discount. I don't think that's going to be very easy to do. Is there anything that they might want from us that we can trade in exchange? We did buy some potions the last time at a very huge discount, but I don't think we're going to use that. Yeah, I'd say maybe we do try to haggle with him a little bit, but I think we're going to have to give up something. So what do we actually give up? Our rations are pretty important, so I don't think we want to give those up. In fact, we might need to buy extra rations. Can we just steal the horse? That's an idea. Can we just steal the horse? We kind of need some money for some other stuff as well. And I don't think we're going to want to spend all our money on the horse. I think what's going to happen is that we're going to try to steal the horse. What is the disposition of this particular stable keeper? Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so let's see here. It's going to be a 12. Bloodthirsty or sadistic? So this stable keeper is bloodthirsty or sadistic. That doesn't really bode well for us. What's their initial reaction to us? I'm gonna say since we're coming in as customers, we get maybe a +2. Oh my god, that's gonna be 5. They're gonna be angered by us. So they're gonna be very rude. They're gonna be very caustic. They're just going to be generally unpleasant to deal with. I think that Jaurk and Galt do not like this guy, whoever this stable keeper is. He's being very rude, and I think we're gonna steal a horse. So Jaurk, I think, is going to distract him. He's not gonna be able to do a very good job, I think. Who has the highest agility here? Oh my god, their agility both suck because of their armor, huh? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I think Jaurk is going to try to intimidate this guy, which is going to be a DR12. Yeah, I think Jaurk and Galt are both going to do it. So we're going to use Galt's presence, which is 0. And we're going to try to intimidate the stable keeper into giving us one of his horses. Oh my god, that's going to be an absolute dismal failure. The stable keeper doesn't just not give us a horse. In fact, he is so offended by it. I think I think we're gonna have to re-roll our reaction here. I think we're gonna roll our reaction here at a -3. So they are actually going to attack us because they are actually really offended by the fact that we want a horse for free. You come into my place of business, you're dirty, you're scum, and you want a horse, one of my beautiful horses for free. And I think he attacks us with I have no idea what kind of weapon will he have. I think he will just maybe have a dagger or something, and I think he's just going to try to attack us like right out of the blue. Maybe the curse has made some of the people in this town more bloodthirsty, or maybe they were already like this, but we did kind of like instigate this a little bit as well. So, oh well. So I think we're gonna roll for initiative here. It's gonna be at a -1, I think, because he's kind of surprised us with this a little bit. So 3. So that means that the enemy goes first. He's gonna swing at one of us. I think he's gonna find Galt more repulsive, so so we're just fighting this stable keeper now, I guess. Let's see, is Galt able to dodge this? Oh, there's gonna be a 1. There's gonna be a 1. There's gonna be a fumble. My first combat roll of the game is going to be a fumble. Now, I could use my omens to reroll that, but I believe the Fugitive Knight has special rules for how omens can be used. You may only spend omens to reroll armor. Okay, so what's our penalty here for fumbling? Oh no. PC takes double damage, armor is reduced 1 tier. Are you serious? Are you for fucking real? I can only use it to reroll armor. Oh my god, despised by men and gods alike, you may only spend omens to reroll armor. So I guess, oh god. I think what's gonna happen here is that he's not gonna spend his omens. Jaurk is going to spend his omens to reroll it for him. That's gonna be kinda bad, but basically Jaurk is going to eliminate this fumble here. In fact, he's gonna ask for a reroll. So we're gonna eliminate it from Jaurk. So I think Jaurk is gonna have to do the heavy lifting here, unfortunately. 16. So we've used one of our omens, not great, but I think we are able to basically get out of the way of the dagger. It's going to be our turn now. So we're going to have to kill this guy quick. It's going to cause some noise around, and we don't want to be caught fighting the stable guys. So I think Jaurk is going to, at this point, bring his Graven Toss slab up, and he's going to swing it down on this guy. Now, I think this guy probably has like maybe 6 HP, just a regular dude. I don't think he has any armor, so we're just gonna roll for that. Is Jaurk able to hit? Jaurk is barely able to hit. 9 plus 3 is going to be a 12. For how much damage? So the guy tries to dodge and oh, max damage. So on 8 plus, daze the enemy, they lose the next action, blah blah blah. But it doesn't matter because the guy's dead. So he tries to stab at Galt, and Jaurk basically sees this, brings up his sword, and beheads the guy. So there's a moment of silence as Galt and Jaurk kind of look at his head, kind of like roll down, like the hay, maybe. I think the silence is kind of like punctuated by one of the horses making a loud snort. At this point, Galt and Jaurk just hop on the horses and ride out of the stables. They're gonna have to try to find the exit out of this place. They have come in through Gelgenbeck through some entrance, so I think it's safe to say that they can make it out. Maybe it's nearby the tavern. Did they make enough noise, is my question. So it's gonna be a 1 to 2 on a d6. It was a pretty quick kill. So did they make enough noise to alert anybody that they killed this guy? It's a 1, okay, that's really bad. So maybe the stable guy's apprentice comes in and he basically sees what happens. He goes out screaming that like there's 2 crazy people in the stables who just killed his master. So we hop on the horses and we have to ride out of there. How are we gonna do this? So I think it's gonna take some time for the people to kind of get their bearings and be able to kind of chase after us for killing the stable guy. And we're not gonna be able to get back here for a while, maybe. Each of them have a horse now, so that's nice. But they're just gonna be riding through the streets and into, I think, the Herb Master's tunnel. And the Herb Master is gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? And they're just gonna be riding through past the tavern. And are they able to make it out? I don't really know what test to make this. I'm gonna say it's a presence check, but I think it's gonna be pretty easy. They have like horses, right? Like, they've never done this before, but I mean, they're pretty fast. So do I just let them do it? Okay, I'm gonna say it's a difficulty of 5. Let's say that. So we're gonna roll that. And we're gonna roll for both of them. So they're gonna use their presence to try to, you know, get the horses under control and try to ride out of the city. So we are able to get Jaurk out of the city of Gelgenberg. He rides past the tavern as people are screaming bloody murder and like trying to run after him. Galt is right behind him. Is he able to make it out as well? Oh my god! Wait, what is his presence? Okay, his presence is 0. I said that the difficulty was 5. So they were able to do it. Both of them were just barely able to run out as they are being chased by the town people of Gelgenberg. And I think as they are riding out of the city, Galt screams back, "Don't worry, we're here to save you!" And then they're gone. They're out of there. So they have some horses that they'll be able to use to get to where they need to get to. But that was not great. They just killed someone in cold blood. So yeah, that's Mark Bark. So I think this is where it's starting to hit towards night time, and they're gonna have to get out there, and they will have to rest a little bit, I think. So I do think that they can take one more action. They can like ride a little bit more, but then they're gonna have to take a rest. They're gonna be able to get out of the city enough that Gelgenberg's people cannot chase after them, and they're gonna make camp and they're gonna try to rest, especially since I need my omens back. So yeah, we're gonna try to make camp and we're gonna try to rest on the outskirts. We're gonna eat some food as well. So camping, resting, or catching a breath. Okay, so there's gonna be a DR12 presence check with 2d20 to make a camp. And I think Galt's gonna do this. He has better presence, and he gets a weak hit. Weak hit, gain D2 or D4 HP. So they're at full HP, that's fine. If sleeping, restore 1 omen and 1 power and use 1 ration. Okay, so they were sleeping. Introduce a reason for a restless night or interruption. Well, I mean, they just killed a guy, and they have a town of people just trying to kill them. So I mean, that's probably the reason. They use up 1 ration. I think only Jaurk is going to sleep here, so he's gonna use up 1 ration. Yeah, I think Galt spends the night talking to his skull, Turn, about like what they should do next. Again, Turn is basically his best friend who he kind of killed. We went over that in the episode 1. He's talking to his skull, and I think maybe he gets some direction or information about where to go next, maybe. Yeah, actually, that's a good question. Does he? I think it's gonna be a likely chance. Let's see here. So there's gonna be the higher one, 13. So yes, he does. I think what we can do here is we can actually see what is the information that he gets about. So we're just gonna roll a d6 and we're gonna see 3. So curse and silver. Oh, okay. So I think the skull tells him that they need to follow the silver. The silver is how they're going to get to the spider who is birthing all these creatures. And they're going to have to find some place nearby that potentially has a lot of that silver. Well, there's Gelgenberg, I guess, but maybe somewhere close as well. Is there a place of business nearby or something? Let's see. Let me just bring out a map from Ferretary here. They're gonna have to go to the lair. They don't know where in the lair it is, so yeah, I think what's gonna happen here is that they're not immediately going to go to the Valley of the Unfortunate Undead. I think they're going to go to Schleswig first. And that's going to take them a day's journey. And they're going to reach there at night. And I think once they reach there, they're going to be able to find some information. Maybe the town was raided. Maybe that's what the skull is trying to prophesize here. I think that's what it's trying to say. We don't know if that's true yet. Since they're traveling nearby the Valley of the Unfortunate Undead, I'm just going to use the encounters from there. Yeah, let's roll it. So the next day they wake up and I think Galt tells Jaurk about his nighttime conversations with his imaginary friend, and Jaurk is like, oh Jesus, alright, well, you've been correct so far, so let's just go there, I guess. So they rear up on their mounts and I think they head out towards Schleswig. Before they get there, we're going to have to potentially get an encounter of some sort. But since it's such a quick journey, I'm actually going to say that we're going to pick 2d20 and we're going to pick the lower one. So the lower entries are basically more dangerous, or rather more eventful. Yeah, so we're going to pick the lower one. Okay, so we get a 5. That's an NPC fighting a monster. Okay, so we get that. And where do we find this NPC fighting a monster? We are near the Valley of the Unfortunate Undead, so we're gonna roll on this. 7 Forsaken, 7 Crypt, and 5 Lost. Forsaken, Crypt, Lost. I think what is gonna happen is that as they are going through, they are kind of like not the greatest at navigating, and everything looks kind of the same. So eventually they kind of get lost a little bit, and they end up finding their way to what seems to have been a forsaken crypt. It's like a small little crypt, and it's not been tended to for some time. In this area, they find an NPC who is a prophet of some kind, fighting a monster. 4. Fighting some rats, phantom rats. Okay. D4 of them. 4 phantom rats. Oh, it's not looking good for this guy. So there's this prophet fighting off these rats. And I think Galt and Jaurk are kind of lost now, and they just find this place and this prophet. Is there anything that is possibly related to our adventure? Like I said, for every encounter, I'm going to roll a d10 and see whether it is related to our current adventures. So we're gonna do that. 5, it is. Flesh and silver. Oh, okay. I think I know what this is. Let's look at the entry for phantom rats. Sickly blue glowing phantom rats are always flickering halfway between here and somewhere else. Keep one in a bottle for a makeshift lantern. Just make sure the glass is coated in its kin ethereal blood lest it escape. They are a nightmare to catch. DR 16 to attacks. Are we gonna help this guy? I'm really doubtful. That seems really hard to be able to kill 4 of these really fast phantom rats. But I think as we're closing in, right, we notice that the phantom rats, they're kind of like teleporting and they're trying to grab at this guy's silver purse. So that kind of already gives us like an indication that this might be the work of the spider version of Rebar, because we know that he wants silver, and we know that phantom rats don't really have a need for silver. I think we are gonna help him. So this prophet is over here. What's his disposition? What's he like? What's this prophet like? 33. Heretical. Okay, that makes sense. So I think he's shouting at the top of his lungs for his god to help him against these rats. And nothing's really happening. They're just trying to steal his silver, and nothing is... Yeah, he's just trying to like evade them. So, are we gonna help him? I think we are. This prophet is actually in front of a forsaken crypt of some kind. He probably has some kind of information about the general area around them. Maybe he lives in this crypt, like this forsaken crypt, and he's just being heckled by these rats. Yep, we're gonna try to kill the rats. So, initiative time. We're gonna start first. So, Jaurk and Galt see this. I think Galt goes, those rats, they're trying to get to his purse. you remember what we heard about that spider guy? And Jaurk is like, yeah, it's a long shot, but I guess we could try, kill these rats, see what's up. So they're going to actually try to kill the rats. Now, I'm gonna say since there are 4 of these fucking things, yeah, they have like 2 HP each or something, right? Yeah, they have 2 HP each, no morale, bite is D4. To attack them, you need DR16, which is ridiculous. I think we're gonna have to have some kind of advantage over them. Is there anything that we can do in order to potentially be able to catch them more easily, I guess? Is there anything that we have on hand? We could use our scroll here, but that's kind of like a bit too much, I think, especially this early. Let's see about him. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think what's gonna happen is that there's these 4 rats, right? And they're very, very hard to hit. They're like teleporting in and out. They're trying to like get around this guy, trying to get at his purse. And I think Galt, what he does, without even saying anything, he grabs out his oil and he tosses a bunch of it onto the rats. So I think this is going to be a lot easier than trying to hit one of them. So he's just tossing a bunch of it over. So I'm going to remove 2 hours from his oil amount there. And now they're soaked in this oil, and even though they're flickering in and out of existence, you can still kind of see them dripping with the oil. And I think that makes it so that they're easier to hit now. So I think we're gonna make it so that it's going to be a DR12 to hit them. So there's gonna be 4 of these rats. As long as we are able to hit, we will probably kill them. So I think what's gonna happen is that, yeah, Galt is gonna go forth and try to stab at one of these rats. And he's gonna try his best here. He's gonna get 13 plus strength of 1. He's gonna do it, so he's gonna deal D4 damage. He's going to kill the hell out of that rat. So one of the rats is down. Jaurk is gonna come in and he's gonna try to cleave at the rats, which is a bit overkill with a gigantic sword of his. I'm going to say that whatever damage he does can kind of like lead on to the next enemy. So if he deals 4 damage, he kills 2 rats because they have 2 HP each. So we're gonna roll for that. And he's gonna get 20. Okay, so he's gonna get 20, which means he does double damage. So yeah, we're gonna roll for his damage here. It's gonna be a 7. He kills all of the remaining rats. I think all of the rats are kind of like in one place, and he doesn't even slice through them. He just takes the flat end and smushes them. Oh, I hit my dice there. But he smushes them into the ground. So that's a nice scene. And I think Galt and Jaurk look up at this heretical prophet, this pilgrim. I think the prophet maybe thanks the gods instead of thanking these guys. Jaurk is gonna ask whether he knows anything about how to get to Schleswig. Also, Galt is going to ask for something in return. So this is gonna be 2 separate roles, but Jaurk is firstly gonna ask something, but Galt is just gonna interrupt and say, look, we saved you. Is there anything you can give us in return? And he's gonna use his presence for that, so he's a bit intimidating, so let's see. That's gonna be a weak hit. So I think yes, but it's not anything like material maybe. I think this guy doesn't have anything really like useful on him, on his person. He has silver. Wait, no, we know that he has silver. Wait, yeah, we know that he has silver, but is he willing to part with that silver? I think he is going to say that he can give us silver, but actually we don't really need silver. What we actually want is some kind of information. So maybe he has limited information about at least how to get to Schleswig. So we can immediately get to Schleswig after this, and we don't need to roll on that. I think that's going to be what we get out of this guy. That's what Jaurk was gonna ask for anyway. But I think in addition to that, we're gonna ask him about perhaps anything he might have heard of recently, or where, I know, we're gonna ask him where these rats came from. Does he know? Like, did he just like wake up one morning, stretch, crack his back, walk out of his like crypt, and suddenly like just get attacked by like these rats? Is it the case that he knows where they came from? Or have they been plaguing these lands? I think it's likely that they've been plaguing these lands, so let's pick the higher one. There's gonna be a 16. There's gonna be a yes. So I think he's gonna be able to know the general direction of where they came from. And that's gonna be able to let us pinpoint more easily where to go in the Valley of the Unfortunate Undead in order to find our target. So that's actually gonna help us quite a bit. Now, this prophet is very heretical, so I think he just kind of like starts saying all this in riddles, and we have to kind of decipher it a little bit. Eventually we get the idea and we are able to go on our way, knowing that we know pretty much where the lair is and where these rats came from. Like, we're kind of like triangulating the position of it in our heads. So we're gonna move on from this encounter here, but we're gonna move on to the town of Schleswig. So we're gonna make our way to Schleswig using our horses. Yeah, we're gonna be able to get our way through there. I think in Schleswig we can probably buy some rations. I'm gonna say yeah, I'm gonna deduct some money. I just need some rations to be able to like cover our resting and stuff. So we're gonna spend, I think, 10 each, and we're gonna buy a bunch of rations. I don't remember the cost for it actually. So let's see. What is the cost for rations? Like if I buy 10 silver worth. Lard. I'm looking for lard. Okay, so it's 5. Okay, so we got a lot of meals. We got enough meals to basically not have to worry about it. I think that gives us actually 10 rations each. And that is going to be enough to cover our journey, no problem at all. So we don't have to worry about rations anymore, which is kind of nice. So we make it to Schleswig, we come in. It's a very small village, and we basically buy some rations. And yeah, actually we're gonna generate this out a little bit. Let's actually go to the nearby tavern and see whether there's been any talk of any kind of like silver being stolen, so that we can maybe, you know, have an even better idea of where to go. I think we might be able to get some more information about the spider version of Rebar. Let's roll for a tavern name. Why not? Let's go for a tavern name. A 14. So that's gonna be the Sleeping Prince. Very, very bourgeois. The Sleeping Prince. Okay, so we basically get to the tavern of the Sleeping Prince, and we're gonna ask around for some rumors of some kind. Yeah, firstly, what's their reaction to us, right? Let's just roll for a regular reaction check, and let's just see, how do the townspeople of Schleswig kind of react to us coming in and asking questions. That's gonna be a 6. Oh, they're kind of angered, but not really. I mean, it's kind of on the cusp there. So I think they're kind of pissed off that like these strangers are just coming in asking questions. I think they're gonna ask for something in return. We don't have much to give them, to be honest. We could try to tell them that like we're trying to rid the land of this curse, but number 1, the curse affects people in Gelgenbeck. Number 2, they don't give a shit about Gelgenbeck probably, so I don't think that's gonna help us. Instead, we're just going to try to intimidate them, which is probably not gonna work and probably gonna get us killed. Yeah, but Galt's gonna do it anyway. So Galt is gonna try to get some information out of them through any means necessary. Let's see here. Is he able to do it? That's gonna be a weak hit, just barely as well. They're gonna give some information, but not a whole lot. So we still have 2 cards left to fill. We're not gonna get those cards. I think they're gonna ask for something in return, right? So again, we've been passing through to the day. It's coming towards the end of the day, but before the end of today, I think they're gonna ask for something that has to be done at night. So I'm gonna actually cross off the day here. And I think a problem is plaguing them. What kind of problem? Actually, yeah, let's see. Is the problem related to what we have here? Let's roll for that as well. Yeah, let's see. It's gonna be a 1. Curse of the Flesh. Oh my god. Okay, so that can't be any more direct and obvious. The curse is affecting them as well. They have the same symptoms as the people in Gelgenbeck, which is good for us because, well, Galt thinks he's gonna be more heroic if he saves a village and a city, but I think more to the point, we now kind of know that this plague or curse or whatever you might call it is spreading across the land, which is really bad. So I think they're gonna want a cure for that of some kind, and we're not gonna be able to give them the cure. I think we're gonna say that so the cure is that we have to kill this spider guy, and they're gonna ask, okay, how did you know that that's the cure? And we're gonna say this skull told us that. This imaginary friend of his told us to do it. And I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, that's not gonna work. In fact, I'm gonna roll for it, but I don't think that's gonna work. I'm gonna give myself a DR of 15 here. Oh my god. 1 and a 4. No way. They don't believe it at all. So they don't believe our tales at all. I think we're gonna actually have to find a fake cure for them. Oh my god. Are we gonna give them one of our potions and say that? You know what? We are. Okay, so I'm gonna check for what these potions are really quick. Oh. Okay, I have it. So, we have Fernar's filter, or filtrate, I still don't know how to pronounce that. Translucent oil must be dabbed right into the eye, heals infection and gives +2 on presence tests for D4 hours. I think what we're gonna do is that Galt is gonna say, hey Jaurk, can you give me that potion that we bought a little while ago? And I think Jaurk is gonna be a bit suspicious, but he's gonna hand it over. And Galt is gonna go, this potion, you dab it into your eye and it cures you of your ills. We got quite a bunch of it, like we have a whole flask worth. So all of you just need to dab it into your eyes and you will be good to go. And I think, what does Jaurk do? I don't think Jaurk is gonna react to that. He's just not gonna say anything. But we don't have this anymore. So that is probably gonna convince them because it actually increases your sense of perception for a bit, as well as the fact that it removes infections. I think a few of them dab it into their eyes and they're like, oh shit, yeah, I feel a lot better. I feel more rejuvenated. I feel fantastic. You've done it. You've saved us. And Galt and Jaurk are like, yeah, we did. So tell us what you know. So they are gonna tell us what we need to know. So they are actually gonna give us a card that's gonna give us some more information about this creature. So let's see, what is this card gonna be? Okay, I'm just gonna grab a random card. I'm just gonna grab one. Let's see, 4 of clubs. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna write it down. 4 of clubs. So 4 of clubs, what does that actually mean for us? Let's see. 4 of clubs. That is going to be morale. So this is the morale. So for morale is card number +5. So that's gonna be a 9 for their morale. Okay, cool. So that's pretty average. The last thing we need to know is their attack. So I think we can't get it from them because I think at this point Jaurk is gonna be like, they're gonna figure out that we didn't help them very soon and we need to get out of here right now. And Galt is like, yeah, probably a good idea. Yeah, instead of like doing their quest that they were gonna give us, we're actually gonna ride off during the night here and try to get some distance away from us and Schleswig. And as we ride out, past the gates, you're gonna be like, thank you, saviors. We'll always remember you. I think Galt and Jaurk are trying to hide their faces a bit. So they're gonna ride out of the city, and I think they're going to try to camp out at night. But they do know the location of where they're supposed to go, and they know most of the things about the creature they're hunting. So that's good. So I'm gonna note off night here. And I think during the night they're gonna travel. I don't think they're going to rest. They're going to eat their rations, but they're not gonna rest per se. So, like I said, they have enough rations to basically last them the rest of the journeys here. So it's not gonna matter too much, but I am still going to note it off just in case. There we go. So they spend the rest of the night basically riding away through to the Valley of the Unfortunate Undead. And I think they're able to reach the outer perimeter of it. So they are going to enter into it proper and start their journey overland in trying to get to the lair quite soon. I do think they have found where the lair actually is though. So I am actually going to give them a milestone point. So they have that going for them. So one of them can basically level up, I think. Who is it gonna be? Let's see what the rules on leveling up are. Who do I want to level up? I think I want Jaurk to level up. So yeah, more HP. Roll a 6d10. How much HP does he have? Actually, wait, no. Actually, I want Galt to level up because his HP kind of sucks. This is a bit meta, but I'm gonna go with it. So 6d10. Let's see here. That's going to be 7 times a 6. If the result is equal to or greater than your current maximum HP, is definitely more than 3. Increase it by a d6. Okay. 2. So we get 5 HP as we level up, which is great. Not all that much, but I'll take it. So we get 5 HP. And we're also going to... I don't think we're going to use the left in the debris rule here, but we are going to roll a d6 against every ability. And we're going to see, are we going to be able to increase it? So roll a d6 against each ability. 5. So if it's equal to or greater than the ability, increase it by 1 to a maximum of +6. So that's going to be a 2 there. Presence, going to be a 5, so that's going to be a 1. Agility is going to be a 2. The reason I'm rolling for these is that in case it's a 1, you don't actually increase that ability. And as for their toughness, let's see here, 5. We're getting pretty good rolls. So we're going to put it up to a 0. And there we go. We leveled up our character here. So he might be able to dodge stuff now, which is great. And yeah. You know what? I am going to use the left in the debris rule. So left in the debris you find... What do I find? I find absolutely nothing. Fantastic. Okay. So we were able to level up Galt, and we were able to find out the location of the spider. We still need to get one more card to find out all the details. So once we get one more card, we're going to be able to tick off another box here. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to actually figure out what the rest of the milestones are, but we'll figure it out as we go along. So I think that's it for today. Yeah, that was a really fun session. We are now wanted by Galt and Schleswig, and everybody hates us, and we are probably going to get killed by either the spider, its underlings, or the townspeople who we are trying to help. So, great ending to that. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, hope you're enjoying the series. Hit like and subscribe and all that YouTube stuff that I'm still not comfortable saying. And again, comment. Yeah, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.